Friends, welcome to morning meditation. Let's have some water, grace ourselves for the meditation. Take off your glasses if you are wearing one. Cross your legs, finger into finger. Let yourself at ease. Sit at ease. Allow your body to be relaxed and open. Now bring all your attention to your breath. Be constantly aware of the breath. Every breath going in and going out. Observe where in your body you can feel your breath. If you can feel your breath around the area of your nose, bring your attention to the area above your nose until the entrance of your nostrils and observe if you can feel the cold air moving in, or if you can feel the warmth of the air going out. Observe how it feels to just breathe. Observe if it is a long breath or if it is a short breath. Observe if you will be able to find something special about your breath today. If you're having a thought, do not force the thought away. Just acknowledge that, yes, you're having a thought, and return your attention back to your breath. Observe the duration of your inhalation. Observe the duration of your exhalation. Observe the length of your breath. If the length of your breath is changing, if your mind wanders away, gently bring back the attention back to breath. Every time you do this, you're practicing how to be aware in the midst of emotions. Now, let's observe the rhythm of the breath with some music in the background. Make the most of this last minute, masters. Observe your breath. Observe how it feels to just breathe. Observe if you know the observer of this breath. Observe who's observing the breath within you. Now is the time for the gratitude, masters. Remember and offer gratitude to all your elders and ancestors who came before you. Offer gratitude to your family, friends, and community that you're given. Offer gratitude to Patriji and every guru and every situation who has helped you choose the path of meditation. Offer gratitude for the whole life that you're given. To your mind and body, to letting you meditate here today. Now let us generate the thought that the whole of the universe be happy, healthy, and live peacefully. And bless the universe that the whole of the universe be happy, healthy, and live peacefully. Receive the blessings back from the universe. Masters. And slowly and gently, when you're ready, start your journey back to physical awareness. Whenever you feel like opening your eyes, keep both your palm on your eyes and open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. Welcome back, Masters. Hope you had a lovely meditation. Thank you for the music, Nilima. Ji, Masters, you can have some water now. Today, I would be narrating Katha Upanishad. You might know the Vedas. The Vedas are the spiritual knowledge that rishis received. Long before Buddha, Vedas were classified into 4 Vedas by Vedavyasa, and Upanishads are scattered in Vedas. I would be mostly using the book The Upanishads, translated by Eknath Ishwaran. I've also referred Sita Ramashastri's translation and talks from Sarvapriyananda's Vedanta Society and Max Muller's English translation. Upanishads are usually started with a Shanti mantra. So I'll start with Shanti mantra. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navadhitamastuma Vidvishvavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Meaning, oh, may Brahman protect us both. May Brahman bestow upon us both the fruit of knowledge. May we both obtain the energy to acquire knowledge. May that we both study reveal truth. May we cherish no ill feeling toward each other. Om, peace, peace, peace. Do we have any masters who have who know Katha Upanishad previously? If you have heard the story in Katha Upanishad, you can raise your hands. Okay. Okay, no one. So it's a story where a little boy goes in search of knowledge to the house of death. The Upanishad starts with once long ago. So once long ago, Vajashravasa performed Vishwajit sacrifice, desiring rewards. He had a son called Nachiketa. Vishwajit sacrifice means it's a sacrifice in which all possessions are given away. And Vajashravasa also means donor of all possessions. Here it could just be the name of Nachiketa's father. So the son, though is young, faith entered his heart when he saw his father making offering to the priest. Nachiketa thought, what merit can one obtain by giving away the cows which are no longer able to drink, to eat, to give milk, and are barren? So in this mantra, the Nachiketa is not, faith enters him and he's not happy because his father is giving away useless possessions. So he thinks that his father might go to the worlds of sorrow for doing this. To help his father understand and to avoid his father going to the world of sorrow, Nachiketa said, to whom will you offer me? He asked this question. Second time and again third time. Then father replied angrily, to death I offer you. Hearing this, the son went to solitude and alone to himself, he reflects. Among many, I am the first, and among many, I am middlemost. But certainly I am never the last. Why does my father want to send me to death? Here, Nachiketa has a healthy self-esteem. He knows that he's best among many and he's average among many. So he's not the worst. And he knows that his father is in the influence of anger. And so his father's word should not be falsified. So he decides to go to death. And Nachiketa said, "Look back to your deceased ancestors, how it was with those who came before us, and observe how it is with those who are with us. A mortal ripens like corn, and like corn he springs up again." Here, Nachiketa is talking about the morality to his father, and also he specifies about the mortality of human beings. And then Nachiketa went to Yama's abode. But the king of the death was not there. He waited 3 days. When Yama returned, he heard a voice say, "When a spiritual guest enters the house like a bright flame, he must be received well, with water to wash his feet. Far from wise are those who are not hospitable to such a guest. They will lose their hopes, the religious merit they have acquired, their sons and their cattle." In this verse, it stresses about how a spiritual guest or a spiritual seeker has to be treated. And the host who doesn't receive a spiritual guest in a good manner it stresses that he would be losing all the spiritual merits as well as the physical merits. So Yama says, "O spiritual guest, I grant you 3 boons to atone for the 3 inhospitable nights you have spent in my abode. Ask for 3 boons, 1 for each night." So Yama is the deity of death here. So this is the 9th verse. And upon receiving these 3 boons, next week, let us see what Nachiketa makes out of these 3 boons from Yama. And now is the time for you, masters, to discuss the Upanishad, to put your questions forward, to share your knowledge, insight, and experiences. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, Madhulaji, please go ahead.
Nice telling the story, Raksha. You're telling the story like Sherazade did to the king of Arabian Nights to live 101 nights. You know, you're giving us a teaser. Now we have to come next week to know what happens. So that's so nice. You have a very nice way of telling the story.
Thank you.
Yeah, these lessons, you know, most of the I think because the Vedas and Upanishads are way before any of the religions, a lot of the stories I think stem from the story you're telling right now. The son thinking that the father doesn't really care. Yeah. And, you know, the same story happened with Abraham and his son. And he was asked to sacrifice his one and only son, and Abraham does it, and the son thinks the father wants, but it's not true. It was just a test. So we'll see what you tell us next week.
Okay.
Thank you. Beautiful way of telling the story.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. I was not aware of the Abraham story was also a similar thing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, and there's another story of I forget, there's the 3 sons. The father, the person who was supposed to get the kingdom was supposed to stand on the father's right. The father becomes blind. But so they switch the sides. And the person that should not get the kingdom, they switch the side. But in the end, the person that is meant for the kingdom actually gets it. Even if it's falsified, the destiny happens the way it should happen. And you told the story nicely about the donation of the things that you said, I think if I understood correctly, you can correct me, of things that the father didn't need, he was giving away.
Yes.
And the son was wondering how come. The thing is, what we think we may not need is something that somebody else can use. And I remember these stories, and most of the, religions ask for offering, of some part of the salary, because whatever we give out there, we may think we don't need it or we need it. It doesn't matter. Whatever we give out there, something magical happens in the universe, and we get not to get back the same thing, but we get something else we may need in the future. And that's the magic of the universe and of giving. And in all the religions teach that. We may think we may not need it, but maybe treasure for somebody else. So I don't know. I think you were telling that story, right? Was I wrong?
Yeah. It actually says that if you're making a true offering, you shouldn't be offering something that's not useful for others too. Like his father is giving the cows which cannot eat anymore, drink, or it won't be can't be milked. So he's not very happy about it, that his father is giving something which is useless.
But we think that, but we don't know the story. So I'll tell you my story. I had a car, and when I wanted to sell it, I drove it beyond 250,000 miles, which is a lot. I mean, that was my first car, and I couldn't sell it. And the lady at the dealership said, "Why don't you donate it?" Now, when you look at it on the outside, it looks like, why is she asking me to donate a car that's 250,000 miles? I'm not going to drive it. But you know what happens with that car? We think it's useless, but the summer parts are still good. So they get the money, and that is a monetary donation for the donation. I gave it to single mothers. So in the eyes of the son, he thinks that there's nothing, but the other person can sell the cow, or, do something else that we don't know yet. I'm thinking, I don't know.
Also, sorry, I think the son is a bit unhappy here because the father is expecting merits in return of the offering. Like when you were offering your car, you were just giving it away. You were not expecting anything in return. So here the father is expecting some merits.
Who, the father or the son?
Father is expecting some merits because he's making the offering.
Oh, he is expecting. I thought he was part of his goodwill. I didn't get that part. Yeah. Because anything that we give, we don't expect anything back. We give it. But whatever we think that we don't know, we may not need it, but it still has value, is what I'm saying. People think that some people give things that they're not using, but even if we're not using, there's value in that for somebody else. And I didn't know that part. I didn't hear that part where it was he wanted something in return. That's not the way to give. Whenever we give a gift, we give it, we forget about it, and then, but the donations that we give to organizations voluntarily, like nonprofit, to help, like floods and, those kind of things, whenever we give freely, even if we don't have, they say donate something or give something. The reason it sounds not so good, because if you don't have any, why would we be giving, right? Whatever, like if we make $200, they say, even if you give $2, you know what I mean? So, but then people say, well, the $200, they don't have enough. Why should they give the $2? But there's something in that giving. We must give because the universe responds to us in a whole different way. I don't know. It's like, it's not because we want that return, but we get the happiness in giving, and something magical happens in the universe too that nobody knows about because they think, okay, gosh, why am I giving? You know what I mean? When we don't have enough money, why should we give? But that's not the lesson. That's not the you know, the idea of the universe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes,
but I
completely with you.
Yeah, teach my nephew, if we go somewhere, I used to have him donate because, and he used to say, you know, I only have $5. How come I have to give, you know? So I used to say, you have to give because it's good for you. And later I see him doing it on his own, you know? It's good for us. I don't know how to explain other than it's just for our own good. Even though we're giving for someone, it's for our good too, you know? I don't know how to, I hope it doesn't sound weird, but it's true.
Yeah, that's so true. And yes, I think once we have started meditating, we all realize how good giving is and how much of happiness giving actually brings back. Just being able to give something to anybody just brings happiness, and I think we all kind of realize it once we
all. And the monetary is because our world functions that way, but we can give in any way. We can give our time or, you know, whatever we can give. It doesn't have to be money, but money is how our society functions right now. But we don't have to give money. We can give something else, you know? So, but anyway, yeah, I'm glad you're sharing these stories. I love these stories. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, that is so true. Yes, and like Patriji says, we might have to use the middle way at times and do the offering that we can.
It could be our time.
Yeah, it could be our time.
Like you're doing now with your, you know, teaching us. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be monetary, but somehow the world, you know, to get some things done, that's how, you know, do, but it doesn't have to be that. Yeah. And it's true. In my own experience, I always used to think too, you know, how come if we have to give whatever little we have, but there's something so magical that the universe does when we do that. So thank you, Raksha.
Thank you. Do we have any more sharings, Masters?
Rakshaji. Yeah, thank you so much for this beautiful session today. As Mrudulaji was saying, you know, we have to keep coming and with curious mindset to listen what you're going to share for the next session. So as I said, you know, this is a new topic for me. So I'm just listening with I'm looking forward also for your future further sessions. And by the way, nice discussions about giving. Even these days, I'm reading a lot about, like, you know, whatever we give, we receive it back. So as Mrudulaji was saying, it shouldn't be only about money, but even if we give love, we receive it back. And even if it is like small things which we even do not know, like showing gratitude or showing respect to others, for example, you know, that is also a way of giving. And also it means like giving our time to others by listening to what they are saying. So giving is unlimited. We all think maybe probably we do not have anything or something like that, but it's unlimited. Yeah, it's infinite. And it's the same, like we also need to be able to receive it back as well from others. And Thank you so much for the beautiful sharings. And yes, looking forward for your next session.